good Lord, good. Hey, it's like it's been a couple minutes since we've done a stream, hasn't it?
Yes.
So, in case y'all forgotten who we are, it's Hexy, Wardrobe, and McMurray. All right, we do play games. Some of us paint miniatures and do little things like that. We're still out here. We haven't run away. I know y'all watch McMurray every Wednesday night, but Todd and I haven't done. God, it's like everything's so stinking busy, man. I mean, all the stuff going on at work, but it doesn't matter because tonight we got a special guest coming on here with us. That's somebody that I think I caught just about a year ago. And of course, he plays the stuff that I love. And he also plays things that these two guys like too and are into. So we're going to bring him on right now. And I want to introduce to you guys. This is Alan, a.k.a. Camp Sawyer. Alan, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing, everyone? Hexy, Wardrobe, McMurray.
Hey.
All good stuff. Thank you guys for having me on.
Sure. Our pleasure. Now, y'all know that everybody out there knows the routine. We're going to grill him in the ground till he's crying or he bails on us. All right. So if y'all got any questions in the crowd out there, fire them away. We'll try to grab them. You know, Todd and I usually do a pretty good job where he monitors that stuff real well. So we're going to find out a little bit here about Alan tonight. First off, YouTube. His YouTube channel is Camp Sawyer, and there it is right there. Let me dig in that for a second. Hold on. Get over there, check out his site. The games, I love the games he plays because they're all right up my alley. And like I say, he plays some Flying Color stuff, which I know Andrew loves that game. He plays Panzer Grenadier, which is stuff that Todd dabbles in. So y'all get over to his channel. If you're not subscribed to it. And let me tell you something, his videos are good. And I'm going to make a point here about him in just a second okay, now this is a compliment that I'm about to give you. All right. He is the new Callendale to me.
Oh,
because he plays games to the end and he films with the camera in his hand, just like we've all seen Callendale do. Now, he doesn't ramble on as much, but he gives you the details turn by turn of what he's playing, and he finishes stuff. Where's Warmutt when I say that? Why is he not on here watching this? So he can say, well, there had to be somebody out there in this world that does that. All right, so Alan, let's get this started right here. Let's talk about where did you come into this wargaming thing? When did you start, and how did you start?
Way back in the day. I actually go back. First game, Avalon Hill, Panzer, Blitz.
Yep.
My brother had it.
Oh yeah.
My brother had it. He got me into it at first. I was staying up with him when he was up at school, college, and he had it there. Got hooked on that, and about a year later, I got Third Reich second edition.
Wow.
Yep.
You jumped up from moderate to hardcore.
I went deep end fast, but it was a Christmas present. So it was like, oh, this is super cool, you know? So, starting it out back then, some odd years ago, I had no clue about it. And it took a couple of years before I was smart enough to figure it out. But by that time I picked up like Panzer Leader and Gettysburg, same one, Hex, you played a few videos ago, not with the new rules. I got to get those one of these days, but picked up that and was immediately hooked from there. So, but it also helped that a neighbor actually had my friendly local game store owner. He was my next door neighbor. Yeah. So it's kind of like after school, going to high school after that point, it's kind of like you go down to the game store because it was just at the bottom of the hill from the high school and you had everything.
Man, you had like the perfect childhood.
Oh yeah. Okay. It was awesome. Of course, today I can't find a game store within 50 miles of me, but that's another story.
They're probably everywhere, but unless you're playing Might and Magic or something or Warhammer, There's, I
yeah,
got one.
exactly.
So.
Yep, exactly. Well, I could play Magic over at the library here. They have a
Right.
kids afternoon type of thing over there. But yeah, there's nothing around anymore. But I was into it, and at that time too, this was back. Start dating myself here, mid '80s. There was still a lot of game groups around locally. We didn't have the internet, but there was enough guys around that would come, and there was a Goodwill. There was an excellent building to play because it was like a huge warehouse not around the corner, a few miles away, and we used to get together there to play weekends and special times and everything like that. So we had that, but then after that you start getting into college and you start becoming an adult.
Yeah.
And
Well,
didn't give it up. Didn't give it up. Didn't give it up. Games just kind of went in the closet a little bit,
Well, okay. Well,
and,
in the young years when you were playing, so
yeah,
the only words I've heard come out of your mouth were Avalon Hill. So in that whole series, what was your favorite of the even today? What's your favorite from the Avalon Hill system? And I'm not talking about anything that is Hasbro now. I'm talking about old Avalon Hill.
Oh no, yeah. The old Avalon Hill. That's a tough one. It's probably going to be the very original. What you guys playing? Squad Leader, the original, because that was Magic when it came out, and I think it's a second edition of that. But that when I saw that one I didn't see in the game store. I actually saw it in a toy store back when you could get the games over there as well. And that was just magic. When you looked at the back of the box on that one, it was like, oh, I was playing Panzer Blitz and I thought that was great. Now I've got detail, to the nth degree. I got miniature detail now. And that was big. We played that. We played that to death. The rule book. I still have the rule books on those, and those are tattered. I should chuck them out, but I can't get rid of them. They're ripped off the what do you call it? The
staples.
The staples.
Oh man,
staples are all rusted and ripped off, and I've had to tape it up here and there, and everything else. Still got it though.
What about Naval Avalon Hill? Let's see if we can get Andrew sparked here. Did you play any Naval
Avalon Hill?
I heard you mention
did play
one
the original Jutland.
The original that's sitting right there. There you go. Where you mentioned Wooden Ships, Iron Men in your videos about flying colors.
Oh yeah,
Was that a smash hit as well? I'm a big fan.
That was I'll tell you, I got a good story on that one too, because my father, he loved to sail. He was a big sailor. And that was actually one of, I think I got that one somewhere around Lake Gettysburg that time, late 70s, early 80s. And at that time, he was trying to teach me how to sail. And, we just had little sunfish type sailboat, which was great to just go around lakes and stuff like that. And I couldn't get the hang of it at all. I mean, I was flipping that thing. I mean, gust of wind would come up and we'd be over, I just couldn't get the hang of it at all. And so then I got Wooden Ships and Iron Men, started reading it and playing it. And then it clicked. It was just like, oh, I get it now. The wind direction. Cool. I get it.
That's awesome.
So after that, still it got easier. I mean, we still tipped over and stuff like that, but it got a heck of a lot easier. And from that, I just love sailing now, lakes and oceans and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, these games go beyond just, fun time to play. You can learn stuff from them.
Oh yeah. Outstanding.
So yeah, Wooden Ships, I had that. I did play Jutland. I was thinking that popped into my mind back at the Goodwill. We had the space for it.
That was my next question.
Set that out on the floor.
Yeah, did you play the table adaptation or the floor game? That's awesome.
Is it
floor? We had the space.
Is it is Jutland a blind one like Midway, or is it just big? Is it kind of like a miniature game? Okay.
Yeah,
cool. It's a true gym floor
game.
You need
a hall. Yeah,
exactly. It's written for it. It's pretty cool.
So did you Did you wander away from gaming at any point? I mean, how long did you, and if you did, how long was the stint that you were away?
Not really. It just kind of simmered down. Once you're, starting family and stuff like that, obviously time disappears very quickly.
Yeah.
But I still had everything. I didn't sell anything. I didn't get rid of any. Well, I did sell a few that I didn't really like, but I kept the core ones that I wanted, and kept them along for forever. And actually added some, like that was around the mid '90s or so. But actually, at that point, I picked up Avalon Hill's Devil's Den. That's another great one that I love, because it's one of the only ACW games that I found that goes below a regiment level that I like. Other people didn't like it because it was too crunchy, but I liked it because it's almost like squad leader for ACW. So I picked that one up, played that a little bit.
Has that one been redone or made into a new series or anything?
No, actually, Avalon Hill picked it up from Battleline. Battleline. And they actually did the redo. The Avalon Hill version was a redo of the Battleline version.
Which game?
Some people, if I talked with a few people about it, some people like the old version. Devil's Den. Are we talking about? That's Devil's Den.
Oh, okay, Devil's Den. All right, okay. I don't know why I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I cut out there.
Somewhere in here, you you didn't go away from it, but you transitioned to different games as per your YouTube channel says so. What happened? I mean, where did you just sort of fall into all these things, like kind of like I did? That wow, where were these at?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, of course, you get into late '90s, 2000s, demise of Avalon Hill and everything like that. And actually, coincidentally, that's when my son was, getting of the age. He was getting around 10, 12, 13 range to start, playing some of them with him. So I actually started him out on some of them, tried some of them as well, because I had the original Battle Cry. Speaking of Hasbro these days, I had the Battle Cry version, and got him into playing that with kind of miniature type of stuff with that, and eventually like Memoir and other things. So that kind of helped kind of spark it back in there as well. And then bigger thing was internet, coming mid to late 2000s, getting on there and actually hooking up with some other guys, and that gets into Panzer Grenadier range, and that game over there. I hooked up with some guys over in Europe and over here in the US as well, and basically got into Panzer Grenadier and really played the heck out of it, just like Squad Leader years ago, and got into playing that actually to the point of burning out eventually.
Oh, really?
A number of years ago. But then, oh yeah. I've played probably with that, probably well over 300 or so scenarios.
Wow,
that's a lot.
Wow, that series. And well, we still a lot of players out there. I don't know if you've played it or you've seen it or anything with that, but I got hooked up with Panzer HQ, which is that website.
It's a good website.
Out there that has all the stuff out there. Yeah, it really is. Another guy, Andrew, what was his name? I can't think of it now. He put it all together back in the day, and we helped out by loading data and stuff like that on there. Good IT work, and helped out with that quite a bit. But it was getting to the point that it was kind of like, oh, there's all this other stuff out here too. Plus, I wanted to get back into my ACW stuff. I had done a lot, back in the day with that.
I heard you mention Europe.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of guys over there. England is a big. A lot
Were
of
you
guys
stationed over there, or you just had contacts?
play games. No, I just had contacts. Over there, and you meet one person and leads to another person and leads to another person and everything else. Actually, they still have a mini tournament, kind of a friendly tournament game we do with Command and Colors these days, where everybody plays like once a month as part of a tournament. And man, I tell you, that's a brutal game, and they are brutal players.
Oh,
they
really?
play the Napoleonics seriously over there.
Huh.
Oh yeah,
Todd.
Oh yeah.
It's a matter of
You can
national
find
honor.
yourself down
depending on where you're at.
six banners to one.
Todd's top shelf there is now stacked with the Napoleonics
In the
from
map-
that system.
Or minutes.
I never got into that system, but
It's,
I'm waiting.
It's good, but it's a lot of fun. They're
Yeah, you're chopping up on us bad now.
Jeff's looking forward to getting into Command and Colors Napoleonics in the next 3 to 6 months.
Did I
Yeah,
lose
there's a
you?
leasing. There's a lease. Yeah, you got a real big delay.
Should he jump off and get back in?
Yeah. Try leaving the studio and coming back in, Alan. Yeah, because now he's locked up.
Okay, so anyway, I just got some new Napoleonics in. Speaking of,
We're zoomed in.
yeah, is that the picture's good?
Yeah,
The picture's gorgeous. Cam Sawyer is a beautiful man.
Can you hear us okay? No, he's lost us.
Toddy, what Napoleonics did you get in? More Command and Colors?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got
There we go.
Gotta try stopping the camera. Can you hear me with it?
Can hear you just fine.
Sounds clear, yeah.
Is the delay better?
We're having fun too, Charles.
Yep.
Well, that's what live is. Hey,
Can you hear us okay?
Better? Hear me now?
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Your mouth's
definitely a
even
little
moving.
better.
Well, we'll see if there's a delay. So real quick, while we're kind of getting that result, I got Epic Napoleonics and the Generals and Tacticians expansion.
Play
And the
back
Generals.
again.
Generals Tacticians is the one missing some parts, so I got to reach out to Noble Knight. And I got Prussia. And Prussia, the new printing is already out of stock at GMT and everywhere. I luckily found it at a store. Some random online guy at a van down by a river. But so hopefully I'll have the whole set here soon. And yeah, Hexy, you can look forward to that in about 6 months.
6 months? I need to clear some shelf space then.
Yeah, you'll need to clear some space.
Did you find that at the game store you guys went to in Minnesota or Montana or wherever you went to?
They did have it, but I wasn't about to lug that thing back. It's super heavy. It's like blocks and stuff. So I thought, no, I'll just order it.
You hear that, Jeff? Todd loves to go to game stores in Minnesota and Montana and Idaho, but I try and get him to go to game night 5 minutes from his house. And
we're letting Camp Sawyer here recycle. Hopefully he gets that.
Meanwhile,
Ron
we talk about
Howard.
how
So you
snooty,
want to?
highfalutin.
Oh wait, we got two instances here.
Let's remove.
2 instances.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's add that one. Let's remove this one. Oh,
Yeah,
there.
sorry.
there
Something
we
crashed on here, but now Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's definitely. Let me get rid
I
of
think the
the
big thing about Command and
Okay.
Colors Napoleonics.
Well, I figured out what it was.
Go for it.
Yeah, sorry about that. I figured out what it was. Good old Windows decided to do an update right in the middle of this. So
That'll
killed it,
do
so
every
we're all
time. Yeah, because now you're in sync. When you talk, your voice is moving or your mouth's moving the same time the words are coming out. So that's
Yep.
good. All right. So, So
Yep.
we were
Anyway.
talking about you when you transitioned away, or not away from, but into the new stuff. So when the new companies came into the world for you to play, what was the first game or the first company past Avalon Hill that you really liked?
First one that I liked. Good question. Good question. It's tough to say because I got in, like I said, got in and playing the heck out of Panzer Grenadier, and that I was really into that most of the time. I was kind of following like GMT, mainly because of their redo of GBACW, because I have all of those from the originals. So I was kind of following that, and I kind of picked those up slowly but surely a little bit later on. And it was a little bit tough to get the secondary market at that point because it was all eBay and all that kind of fun stuff. But it was probably GMT first coming off of there, and then kind of rolling into like Revolution games as well with their ACW stuff. The Blind Swords and Black Swan stuff that's going on these days. Yeah, really, really good stuff. I was really surprised how good that was. And then I look back at like the old SPI stuff, Terrible Swift Sword and all that stuff. And I'm kind of like, oh, I really like this, but man, the graphics and the detail and everything else on the new stuff just draws me right in. It's like, they've hooked me with the eye candy, it's like, I'm hooked. I go back and play the other one because I was actually playing, what was it? Mansfield. And I was like, oh, these graphics are okay, but
definitely. I mean, somewhere, who knows where it happened, but somewhere.
So like,
designers got really, really talented. So
I saw that you've played 3 Days of Gettysburg on your channel.
Yep.
Did you get in on the reboot of that?
Yeah. Oops, sorry, you cut out there, McMurray.
Oh, sorry, buddy. No, I was just saying I saw that you have played through, 3 Days of Gettysburg on your channel. Are you going to get in on the reboot on that? Maybe get the best of both those worlds, older game, some newer design and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. And the second part of that
I do want to get that because one area... Yeah.
No, keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's getting a delay. Yeah, he's getting a delay from us to him.
Oh, the second part of that is when do we get to see an outstanding series of A Most Fearful Sacrifice? Because that's going to be awesome. Oh man, I'm butchering this. I'm sorry, guys.
No.
I'm getting a wicked delay from
the
McMurray.
Computer delay. It's not anything.
Yeah.
None of us
I like
are doing.
Questions.
Yeah, they're on topic and not about body parts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right, Mike. His virus checker's probably going now.
I mean, yes, definitely. Yeah. Definitely getting the new 3 days. That was to put on there because I do want to get the updates, and I definitely want to see what they're doing for the first day. That whole first day piece of something that's undergamed and needs more to it. And if they can do stuff, particularly with the meeting engagement piece of it, I think that'll be great. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I do know, I can tell you this, that Dick Whitaker, I watched him for 2 days up there, him and a friend. All they did was play the first day with Buford and Heath and adding vedette rules for the cavalry. And That's all they played. So the only scenario they played, and they played it over and over and over again to try to get it. And I'm assuming that he's pretty much got that tied down, because I mean they pushed that thing right to pre-order, or like shortly after the Gettysburg thing. So I'm pumped. I'm so pumped for that. I ordered 2 copies of it. So
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
for that thing. Now you were talking blind swords and everything else, and I know in the back of McMurray's head is going crazy with he's got to have some questions back there that'll come out here in a minute, because
the big one was just, when can we hope to see one of your fantastic intro video, and then chunk of turns, and get it done for A Most Fearful Sacrifice, because that'd be badass. I'd be over the moon with that. That'd be outstanding. Slash.
Actually, I've got Most Fearful. I have it. I've actually have it. I had the first edition and actually got the update to it. But believe it or not, I didn't get to play it until 2 weeks ago when I went to a group. So I've had it for like a year and a half, however long it's been out, but I haven't gotten it to the table. And I finally did get it to the table. It's great. I really, really love it. In fact, one of the things I'm doing, because I'm going to have a flurry of videos coming out. You may have noticed I haven't been putting out a lot of videos. I've got a bunch coming out here for my for my 160th 1864. And right now, this point in time, everything starts.
Yeah.
We've got Overland, Shenandoah, and the Atlanta campaign. And I originally had the thought of doing all 3 of them and just pumping out videos, and then reality set in where I can't get all 3 campaigns going, and I'm going to have to pick. So I've got a bunch load on Shenandoah. So speaking of, where HexX is, all the Shenandoahs, starting right from Newmarket down through Piedmont, Cool Springs, even wrapping in early stuff when he raided DC. But I'm using the blind sword system. And this is where I was getting to it, because somebody on Board Game Geek, I can't remember who it is now, actually made cards to replace the chits on the Kernstown version. So I've actually printed, this evening, I just printed those out. I'm going to cut them out, mount them and everything, and use the cards instead of the chits, much like you can do with A Most Fearful Sacrifice, and see how that works as well.
Oh, really?
So that's coming out as well. So I'm very impressed with it. Yeah, I'm very impressed with.
So Nordic Maelstrom asked a question about which is better game, 3 Days of Gettysburg and Most Fearful Sacrifice. Now, I'm going to let you answer this, but I'm going to say, Nord, you're talking, these are 2 different tiers of games. If you want depth and detail, you want 3 Dog. If you want ease of play and very good play, you want to play AMFS. I mean, these games, gorgeous, absolutely wonderful games. Either one's fun to play. They're just 2 sides of the spectrum. Do you find that with that, comparing 3 Dog to Black Swan, which I guess Chickamauga is the next one we're going to see. Do you find that comparison the same, where it's just more detailed on the GBACW side and a little easier playing on the Black Swan side?
Yeah, I mean, it is. You're exactly right, Hex. It is apples and oranges to some degree. I mean, you've got great detail with 3 Dog, and a lot of stuff that you can actually walk the battlefield and look at the monuments and say, hey, I know that counter. I know
yeah
that stuff. I know this You can do the same with most fearful sacrifice, but the mechanics of most fearful sacrifice are simpler and more game worthy, I would say. Meaning, if you're playing this at a game night or convention or whatever, it's something you can finish in the time span. I mean, three dog you can as well, but there's a lot of detail to it. I mean, you got to ponder over how you're going to move those regiments and how you're going to get the full division in there and do all the mechanics in there, which I love that piece of it too, because that's all important stuff as well. Where in a most fearful sacrifice, you're more relying upon the cards and the and reacting to that to make sure your plan of attack works or doesn't if you're the defender. So yeah, it is two different things in there.
Yeah, they both have a different approach on battlefield confusion and the ability to get things done. Todd, who was asking? What was Richard asking?
Well, Richard asked if you play any of the
Exactly.
gamers games, like In Their Quiet Fields, I guess is one, or maybe Bloody Roads. I don't know if those are, but do you play any of the gamers games on, say, Civil War, maybe, or any of them?
The battle?
Any of the CWBS
like Line of Battle and stuff. Yes, I have played them. Exactly. Yep. I have played those before, and actually for my Shenandoah videos, they're going to be coming out for Early's campaign. I picked that one up, and I'm actually learning. That's on my other table in the other room right now. Probably going to do the video on that because I've seen some on that. In fact, I think Hex, you did one on that, didn't you? To take Washington.
Yeah, I'm LOB and me are not good friends. But I haven't thrown them out yet.
I know writing down the rules is a little it's a little bit much, but I don't mind the detail. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Nick Rosser told me that I started
then
with
the other one for
Jesus Christ, Mike.
41.
What? Great Battles?
Sorry, no. Meandering Mike just told us that he has 41 games that are specifically on Gettysburg. God damn, Mike. Whew. Get after it, buddy.
No, the Line of Battle.
I don't have 41 Gettysburg games.
I was told that I started with the wrong game, that I should have played the Last Chance or I should have played the Antietam one. So I will go back one day to them and try them, but I'm not. Yeah, John, I have all of the CWBS games, and I do like them. I like the command rules, and I think that they're pretty awesome. So, do you have any of the CWBS stuff, Alan?
No, I don't have any of that. I just have the to take Washington. That's what I'm thinking of.
Mm.
So you just have the Line of Battle.
I think it's the Line of Battle, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever come across
I came up, I came up the Great Battles, What
do we got? We got about a 6-7 second delay.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. It has it back. Yeah, there's a delay.
All right, so I'm going to ask a question here, and it's kind of long. So you focus on you definitely focus on ACW. You played Panzer Grenadier till you burnt out, like 300 games, which is incredible. 300 games of one game is a lot. That's pretty cool. But so you really seem to focus on a game. Like you focus a lot on Panzer, you focus a lot on GBACW, and it looks like Blind Sword. Mm-hmm. Are you concerned about burning out on any of those, or do you like the topic more for like ACW that you're not going to burn out? I'm curious because I love it how you focus. So,
yeah, with ACW, that's always going to be something that I love. I was into ACW even before I was into gaming. I go back to having the Marks, remember the Marks play sets, the Battleground play sets and the Antietam play sets and Gettysburg play sets from Marks. I go back to those days as well. So ACW is in my blood. It'll never go away. That's harder to burn out from. Different time frames or different, campaigns and things like that, I could probably burn out from. So that's why I like jumping around to like Panzer. Even like I'm loving watching you guys play Advanced Squad Leader. The starter kits there. It's making me want to jump back in there, and I've got to say, get the videos done first, and then you can get back into that stuff, and then kind of go from there. And because I've got a lot of games out here, as I look over to part of my collection, that I'm like, I'd love to get on there, but I've got to like stay focused, stay to topic, everything else, because it's so easy to get off topic. Very easy. In fact, part of me is with this Shenandoah campaign have kind of got off topic as well, because I started doing some historical research purely by accident a number of years ago as well, and it ties into pretty much the whole Death Valley, Kernstown campaign, because there's one Union unit in there that actually had a good many companies of men from where I live. So there's a lot of history right here on them, and I'm digging up more and more. So there you go. You're gonna do that one for the 80th?
I would love to. That's a tall order, but we'll see.
80th is coming up. It's a good game for it.
I know. It would be really awesome.
I saw your video on it. It looks great.
Yeah. I should give. I got a lot of ASL guys here in St. Louis. I should recruit at least one to help me play through it. Play through a couple scenarios, just to try it out. Hey, someone said you've been quiet, McMurray. You got any questions for Kent?
Oh yeah. It looks
I mean,
great.
we talked about like Blind Swords, as well as Black Swan. That was a big one that was on my mind. We touched on Wooden Ships, Iron Men, and Flying Colors. I'm a big fan of Flying Colors. Flying Colors is probably the number one game that got me as an adult playing hex and counter games on a serious level.
Yep.
So that one's outstanding. Big fan. Do you play any of the expansions for Flying Colors?
Yeah, I've got the expansions for those. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I picked up the latest one there. What was it? It's down here.
It's the South America
I
one.
can't see it now at the moment. But
It's
yeah,
is it under Southern Cross?
Yeah, it's under the Southern Cross. Yep, I'm seeing it now under Southern Cross. It's down there on the bottom shelf. It's another one I want to get up there as well. As well as I do have. Have you? I haven't tried it yet. I've seen it. Is Captain C? Captain C. It's another one by Mike Nagel, but I think it's a Worthington.
Yeah,
see it down there. Yeah, it's a Worthington.
That came out recently, didn't it? In the last year or so, maybe?
Yeah, maybe 5 years ago, give or take, 4 years ago.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
No, it's been a few years. It's been a couple of years. Yeah.
Okay. I have not messed with it, no.
It's more individual ship. Yeah, it's more individual ship to ship.
Okay. Outstanding.
So you're playing a captain of a frigate or a captain of a ship of the line squaring off against another captain.
Nice.
Meandering Mike's
All
got
right.
it. It's Legion.
Legion. There you go. Is that the one that's got like a kind of a close up of a ship to ship duel on the front of it? It's like a blue toned box. I'm trying to think. Some on my phone right now. If I go and try and look it up, it'll
Yeah, hold on.
spaz out on me.
Give me 1 second.
My man.
I keep forgetting we can do this.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
while he's out, Jeff, I just asked you. Someone asked to see what's in Epic.
I think the big thing with Epic is it allows you to link up to like Matt's. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Captain C. Okay. I have not played it.
I like that cup. I like that box. Box art looks cool.
Accurate.
It's a shame
Yeah.
it's played on water.
Yep.
Shut up, Jeff. That strikes me as so like I run into this with Hex Encounter war games as we get, as smaller in scope of game, right? Like I tend to play a lot of Hex Encounter stuff that I can play big engagements, right? Or large campaigns and whatnot. Because I do enjoy miniature gaming, and so that's where like I'm not gonna necessarily play squad leader. I might play, chain of command with Todd or bolt action or some such like that. And that I feel like the captain's C itch is probably scratched for me with post captain from Old Dominion, maybe. But there's a couple, crunchier, for the lack of a better word, miniatures games out there where you're dealing with stuff like crew allocation and everything else. Which, that being said, putting Napoleonic era ships together, painting them.
That's like going back to the old. There was an old SPI.
Frigate?
Yep. It was an old SPI like that. It wasn't. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, frigates over there.
Yeah, that's going back a long time ago.
It's on the list.
Yeah,
it's on the short list.
I don't have that one. I saw it though. That's going back years ago. Yeah.
I might have 2 copies of that, in all honesty. I feel like I have like a magazine version maybe, and then a flat pack.
There's a question for you from Richard Chipman.
Very good question from Richard.
Oh, there we go. Ooh, good question. Yes. All of them.
That was easy.
Yeah, no.
Everything except for core level, like C3Is.
I will take if it's a good game. I will take all of them. But if I have to pick one, it would be regiment level.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that.
I just like that detail.
Yep. GBACW is still my golden goose.
Yeah.
I think it's the greatest system in a game ever made. But the operational series from MMP that Todd and I are playing, which hopefully we're going to do that again this weekend, the GCACW is also phenomenal. But yes, tactical regiment level, love it. I don't even dislike the demi brigade type games like CWBS or A Most Fearful Sacrifice, the Black Swan system. The Blind Swords, those are all fine too, but boy, give me GBACW every time.
Yeah, Blind Swords is regimental.
Blind Sword, it's full.
Yep.
Blind Swords is regimental. It's once you breach up into Black Swan that you hit the demi brigades.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Blind Swords is just my happy.
It's regimental. It's regimental. Here we go.
Yep, there you go. There you go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wait. Aren't you test playing something right now?
Yes, kind of, sort of. I owe people some testing. I am, because I hooked up with Bill Byrne. I've played a few GBACWs with him, and getting some of the other GBACWs that are coming down the line going as well. So there's good stuff coming on here. The update to was it Gleam of Bayonets? That is going to be phenomenal when that comes out.
That's long overdue.
It's just Yeah. Well, and it's going to be worth the wait from what I've seen so far. It's
Which one?
really good. You know,
The remake of A Gleam
you're
of
going to be able
Bandits.
to basically take those maps with you. Oh, you got
While
it there.
Hexy's
Yeah, I don't
looking-
have it. It's that's up in my other room of games.
Hey, I'm curious. I got
Yeah.
the I don't know where I saw it, but I saw. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
Look, you tell that game's old. I got my name and last
There we
four
go.
on that thing.
Yep.
That's everybody. That's 555-555-9817. Hey, I just was reading on the GMT update or something. I don't know if it's coming with the new 3-Dog, but someone said a 15-page GBACW rule set, simpler GBACW. Have you?
We talked about that with Stigler.
Oh, we did. I don't.
Yeah, it got poo-pooed real hard.
See you guys later.
Yeah. Yep.
Nord, I have not played Under a Southern Cross yet. If the only small ship action for flying colors that I've got is Serpent of the Seas, thanks to this guy over here.
Yeah.
Aw.
Thanks to
This
Jake.
is a
Dick Whitaker's a big proponent on that, and I'll agree with Dick. I mean, if it'll get people into playing the system, awesome. That's great.
But it's not the system, Jeff.
right. That's
I mean,
Stigler's going to do that with his stuff. Stigler's going to do that with his stuff.
I can't. I wish. I'm glad they're moving his game along finally. I'm glad that
Yes.
What's his name finished the maps. Oh, come
a
on.
scoop, not a scoop.
Kibble.
Oh, Kibler, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kibler,
I got to tell you, on
Kibler,
that last, oh yeah, sorry, on that last update, I'm telling you, man, I was tempted on that 3-Dog. I'm like, that is so amazing looking. I don't even.
I bought
And yet
two.
you
Todd.
just glossed straight
I bought
through
two,
the most
Todd.
fearful sacrifice.
Yep.
What, McMurray?
Yep. It's going to be
I
good.
said, yeah,
Well, I'm
you
waiting.
just glossed
I was
straight through.
disappointed because, of course, 2 weeks.
Man,
2 weeks
I wanna hear-
is Wilderness 160. I was looking to get the new GBACW for Wilderness.
I
But
can't.
that's okay.
I can't test play mine anymore.
I'm doing the Shenandoah instead.
I can't test play mine anymore because they changed the counters and they changed the some. Well, not the map so much, but they changed the counters, and I am not rebuilding and recreating those counters all over again. I played like 5 scenarios in it. It's going to be phenomenal. And my only fear is that Line of Battle puts theirs out before GBACW.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, here's a question then: Is the blind sword system basically a light version of GBACW because it's the same scale but it's a little bit easier?
I don't know if it's a light version. It might just be a lighter way to look at some of the same engagements.
That's what I mean.
No, I wouldn't
That's what
say
I
it's
mean.
light. I wouldn't.
I don't mean it's the same. I just mean it's a light,
Yeah.
lighter for that
Yeah.
scale.
I mean, you're. Yes, I mean you don't have all the need to worry about positioning your regiments exactly in one direction.
Right. Okay.
But you do need to worry about what your opponent is going to do to you with the next chit pull or something like that. So it's more focused at a game level than it is focused at a simulation level. So I think GBACW is more simulation where you're looking at what's actually happened at Gettysburg or wherever. Whereas Blind Swords, it's a game that you're playing and you've got to react back and forth to your opponent. But it works solo good as well because you're, again, a chit pull type of mechanic. So it really works out quite well. I've had some great games. Those latest ones that they've come out with, what was it, Greater Victory, something like that, about South Mountain. I think that's great. The Perryville one, a Grand Havoc, that if you don't have it, that is great because that really shows what Perryville was all about. And I really love that one. Of course, I love Perryville anyways because it's a great field to go to and see. But the game is really good. So yeah, they're just getting better. And I just look at it because they're the building blocks to what a most fearful sacrifice has become. Herman
Right.
used all that experience to get him to there.
And with that system, with Herman allowing other people to create games off of that system, you watch. I give it 5 years, and every battle during the American Civil War is liable to be produced into a game using that system.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Well, we know GBACW. We know that the crew is
Yeah,
working.
it's all good.
They're working on a bunch of different. We know that they're working on the Trans-Mississippi stuff. We know that Gleam of Bayonets is being worked on. We know Three Dog,
Yep.
a new version is coming. I'm also understanding that. Well, I know for facts, I've already seen the map. Is that the Chickamauga game was that River of Death? That's being, I don't know if that's going to pop anytime soon, but there was some rework on that.
Yep.
And I think the Trans-Mississippi one's going to be interesting. I'm really kind of looking forward to whenever that one gets it. I know that Dick offered Dick Vollers and Al Smith a print offer for Wilderness, a time frame, and both of them refused it because they want the game to be perfect. So that thing's pushed another year to a year and a half. Well, from back in Gettysburg, it's pushed another year and a half away. But you want a regimental game of the Civil War that's going to cause you headaches. That's going to be the one.
Not Gettysburg 77 Advanced. I thought that caused you more headaches at a regimental level than anything else.
That was a different sort of headache.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I still think there's a good game in that box.
I give him credit for playing that because
game.
I tried that and didn't make it past the first 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have a guy on here soon that's
a rock star.
We're gonna have SPQR on here, and that's really the only game that he's dabbling in. He just wants to master it, and we're gonna get him. Plus, he does some ship modeling and stuff. We're gonna get him on here and chit chat with him.
Dabbling in freebasing cocaine, dabbling. You got to go all in on
that. All right, so our crowd out there, our wonderful audience, stuff. That's good. Chuck, Line of Battle is multi-man. That's their big tactical level Civil War stuff. Mike, nice comment about the rules for GBACW, the NSGBACW. We like that. Okay, so we've looked. These guys I know have crammed in a bunch of stuff off your channel to see what you're interested in. And I was scrolling through here, and I think the one thing that I did not see, interestingly enough, and I could have overlooked it, I don't see any Napoleonic stuff in here.
Nope.
Why not?
You're probably right. Even though I've done some Napoleonics, like I said, I mean, it basically was, more with the guys over in Europe playing Command and Colors, but also getting into, and this is related to GBACW indirectly, is I don't know if you ever saw Joie de Gloire, which is the glory system, which was the brigade level, demi-brigade level stuff that was Napoleonics. It's really high level stuff. There was an issue of C3I. They published, I forget what the battle is now, right outside of Paris. What is that? Anyways, they published one of the scenarios in there at one point, but it's all over in France. That Pascal, people. I can't remember his last name to save my life at the moment. If you can tell, I'm bad with names, but he produced all of those, and we got into those quite a bit, and that's kind of fun because that's a quick play as well. It's a very fast play. You know, if you played any of the Glory stuff, you know, Glory 1, Glory 2, and Glory 3, that was that's the kind of same style that's in there, except they added more cavalry charges and, you know, all the European stuff in there. Yeah.
Well, the Glory system
all good
is
stuff. I got to hear.
Glory
Oh,
system's a
it's
good system.
trapped behind everything. Yeah. Yep. And they basically took that and just made it European.
Okay.
So you've got more
And
cavalry
Berg,
charges. You know, you got heavy versus light.
and Berg didn't have his hands in helping with that.
And, you know, well, he kind of blessed it back in the day. He kind of let him, you know, take the core rules and modify it to what, you know, they wanted. And it worked out. It works out pretty well. I mean, it's a fun, quick play game. You know, quick meaning play it over play, from top to bottom. Some of the scenarios are better than others. You know, some of the scenarios could have been designed a little bit better. You know, they went historical rather than balanced. But it's a good system. The maps, all the quality of stuff is good. You're dealing with, you know, the French banners and, you know, the all the coat of arms for the French units and everything like that. So
Okay,
that's fun. But I never got into the other stuff other than what SPI had back in the days.
Right. What's the next monster that's going to hit your table?
Other than Jeff's mom. Ooh.
Next monster. Well, they define monster because they don't have a big table. First off, I've got tables. I've got plural tables.
2 maps or bigger.
Just say one of the big flying color scenarios to mess with him.
Yeah.
I would love to get you know, Gettysburg out there again. I actually love to get a Most Fearful Sacrifice. They've played it once, you know, one of the smaller scenarios, going with some of the bigger scenarios, but that game is just so big. You know, I need like all my tables in one room to put everything together for it. And I'd love to get that one out, but I don't know if I'll ever get all the tables in one space to do that.
There you go. There's a question.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I mean, I if you see my channel, I'm actually into other stuff. I've got like Panzer stuff out there. I got a lot of Panzer stuff because I got into that one. I actually got into that one back with the Avalon Hill Yaquinto days of MBT and 88 and all the other ones that were the predecessors to that. So I got back into that. So I do have all of those. I've got a number of videos out on those. A lot of World War II stuff, as I said, in there as well. Also getting into some modern stuff as well. I have some of the old SPI modern stuff, and I'm actually really interested in there's one coming out. I can't remember the title. It's a GMT game. It's a modern tactical. Hold on here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But I am into that stuff as well. Pretty much anything, any period of time, because I do have all the old stuff as well, the ancients. With that, actually, the old SPI pre-stag stuff back in the day. Played that a lot. We had a lot of fun just slamming counters together with that. Wound up, you start out with, I don't know, 20, 30 counters, and you wind up with 3 by the end. It's basically a
big
game of
box
last
game.
man standing.
Andrew,
But
you
pretty much
got pieces
anything,
of that.
you know. ACW really just hits something that I'll never give up.
I do have a bunch of or a few of the press tag games. Yeah, Jeff. That being said, I think honestly, I have Yeoman, but I think Great Medieval Battles or whatever that I played a few of on, I think, your channel, Jeff. I like that. That system is outstanding. I'm really sad there's only, I think, 5 games in it. I had that quad pack. I think then there's like a King Arthur one that's a slightly more weird fantasy version. Either way, that system I really enjoyed. I'm sad that there's only, as per usual, I play games that are older than I am, and then I enjoy them, and there's no support, there's no more in the series, anything like that. But
I'm the same way,
Right.
Nord. I had
Right.
I remember going to Manassas.
Right.
Of course, I went to school down there.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have support back then either.
that's fair.
The SBI stuff we were playing
Fair.
as is because there was no internet.
Yeah. Jeff, the difference is you went
So
to
we were making
Manassas,
stuff up,
like, and watched it.
We had light cavalry running over everybody.
Hell yeah.
But I was only in the second one, Andrew.
Oh, sorry.
I was too young for the one that you're.
Yeah, you couldn't get your mom to sign the permission slip.
I was there. I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's going to happen, Clay.
What is last chance?
It was like
for
Patton,
victory?
I was there at the battle.
Yeah, there you go. Good reference. Outstanding.
Hey, Camp, is the game you're thinking of from GMT Decisive Action? That's the modern one.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I watched a couple videos on that. Looks interesting. For modern, modern warfare. We're talking really modern stuff because they're talking, when we were having Cold War stuff in the 80s, but this is doing stuff over in Poland and, Eastern Europe.
Todd's played Ukraine 43. Gonna play Ukraine 23 next. What? It's a 4x to 2x system. Whatever.
You remember Todd sent me that one game in the Middle East, and I won't play it yet.
Oh God. Which one? Ardennes 44, the one that got
the Middle
you
East,
didn't want. So you said to
Middle
Todd,
Eastern
then
Europe.
Todd gave to me, then I gave back to Todd, then he said back to you, and now you just sold it. Good Lord.
And I want to play that game, but it's only got like
game got passed around like a bong at Cheech Moran's house. Jesus Christ.
Gee, Mike, only 38 Waterloo games?
Yeah.
You're slacking, buddy.
Hey,
38,
I'm
that
curious.
sounds low.
Yeah. I'm curious, Camp, I like calling you Camp. Camp, on Panzer, do you like Panzer because it's
That's okay.
ASL or squad leader, but much simpler? I mean, I know it's got complexities, but
well, I put it this way. I like ASL if I'm in an infantry battle mood. If I want to push around infantry units, I really like that. But Panzer for tanks, I just think is better. It gives more crunchy level of detail for it. I play it full. Well, I've probably seen I play it full bore with all the advanced rules and everything else. And people say you're crazy. How you can do all that stuff? And it's like, no, it's easy. You just pick and choose. You don't have to play. You don't have to use all of them. You can just pick and choose what you want. And actually, if you see, I'll freely admit this on here. There's things that I'll miss, even though I'm playing it. I'll miss it. I'll forget an ammunition roll, and I'm like, oh, forget, I missed the ammunition roll, and it was a critical moment. But hey, it is what it is. But it's just a lot of fun to calculate that shot that's coming in that hits the turret at just the right angle and blows it off from a Panzer II against a KV1 or something. It's really fun. Plus, I feel it's once you master the rules, you got to take a little bit of time to master the rules. once you get it, it is a lot of fun because the command perspective to it is really good. We're using the chits to kind of say, this is what I'm going to do, and you have to do it. And, you get a good sense of, okay, I can either move, I can fire, short halt. It's great for setting up, opportunity fire with the Overwatch. All that stuff is really good because you got to think about where you're going to place your units ahead of time to make it happen. So
Yeah.
it's really good. And of course the latest one, North Africa, is a monster. The North Africa thing is I can't believe how much is in there.
Yeah, that was impressive.
And maybe not coming out of North Africa for anything else for a while.
Clay's hitting him on the head tonight.
The last two North Africa games that we've seen, NA41 and the one that Todd, that you played from SCS, both of those two games had some serious detail when it came to supply, which makes sense for the desert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could all just get with
at
Clay
the operational campaign level. Yep.
So I know you do some of your games on Vassal and some on the board. Some on the board. Which do you prefer, Vassal or on the board and shooting those videos?
I like the cardboard. I've got to be honest. I want the cardboard. I sit on the computer all day for work, so that's great. I mean, if I'm doing stuff like if I'm doing the Panzer stuff and things like that, where there's a lot of counters, it's a little bit easier. But I'd rather put it on the table and get the cardboard out there and push that around. Just a lot more fun. It's just, you got the challenges of filming it and getting the right angles, the lighting, so forth and so on, that you don't have the challenge with Vassal. You just set it up and go, and you're off and running. So, I'd rather do the physical stuff because it's a lot more fun, particularly, if you've played it face to face or conventions or whatever. It's all good.
I'm just curious why you started.
And I do have North Africa 41.
Why'd you want to start doing YouTube? I know she's dead about a year ago.
Oh yeah, no, because I had, I've been on it for a while since pandemic and everything else going on because there was nothing else to watch on TV. So I was watching the stuff, and I'm kind of like, oh, I've in prior career lives I've done education, IT education, training, teaching, stuff like that. So I'm like, hey, this would be pretty fun. Plus, I did, and this is Hex will like this. Back in the pandemic, I set up GBACW Second Manassas full game and played it part of the pandemic. Biggest game I had on the table out here because I actually had to add, piece of piece of plywood on here to actually get it all set up there. Played it beginning to end with all the warts and all of the problems and things like that. And I was kind of like, I wish I filmed this because it would have been a great video to put out there.
Yeah. There's not much out there on that. I think I may have shot a couple items 3 years ago with that, but there's not a ton out there on that.
Right.
Quite frankly, I'm thinking
just the whole thing. It came out really good. It was somewhat historical.
I think we're the only two doing.
Stigler was doing some, but I haven't seen him from. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything lately. I know Stigler was doing some, but I haven't seen anything from him. Of course, I know he's busy. We know what he's doing. Between Vassal and his games coming out, he's pretty busy. So.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that. Even though it's going to be tiny, I think it's somebody that's a great idea what he did.
Yep. Here, I'll throw out a controversial one. This is
Oh.
This is one that'll cross everything. Maybe get Hexy into naval warfare. I don't know if
Come
you've seen
on,
this
no.
one.
I just got that.
All right, Hex. Hey, Hex, you want to go to my channel and start talking about something? Here, we'll just go. Come on, let's go.
We were talking about that earlier. The guy I got it from liked it so much he laminated the.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Where'd you get that?
We talked
Oh, wow.
about that earlier.
Laminated
I
and
bought
everything.
it from Pat.
I wasn't listening.
We were no, jeez. Why do I even talk to you? God damn.
All right, can you?
Nice.
I know Hex doesn't. I mean, we want to learn. Well, so what's up with Iron and Oak? What is that versus? Why is it different than Flying Colors? What's up with that?
Maybe they'll listen if you.
Well,
explain
with
it.
that,
Like
it's
10
somewhat
minutes
of a
before we started.
crossover again with miniatures because it's. I look at it as kind of a crossover between miniatures and hex encounter games because it kind of has the same feel of like a Panzer where you're using the cards to represent your ships and you're have everything there. You can substitute in real models if you're a model builder. I'm not, but I might recruit my son to do it. It's also got historical stuff because you are playing, the naval battles either down the Mississippi or around the coast, or or you're chasing after the Alabama around the world. So it's kind of fun. It does have its detractors. There is a bit of randomness to the movement that people didn't like, but that can easily be rectified. But once you get into battle, it's just like playing Monitor and Merrimack,
Hey, I'm still trying to sell my Ironclads game. I can't get no takers on it. I've reduced the price.
Send it to us, Hexy. We'll burn it with some of the other games we're burning.
Like Medwar Sicily.
That one deserves it.
Hey, where is that thing now, anyhow?
In my
It's at Todd's
closet.
house.
I got it. McMurray and I are going to burn it with cook marshmallows and then go play Most Fearful Sacrifice this summer.
It's sitting out back at Todd's house, just on top of the retaining wall.
The nuclear
hanging
option,
out
huh?
back there
The
for a
nuclear
year or
option.
so. Nord, we can absolutely play.
Light a match and
Flying
hold it over the board and let it go.
Yep. Yeah. No, we're gonna cook out while we play Most Fearful Sacrifice in July. Wearing our wool, cooking rat over Medwar Sicily.
Eating salt pork.
Well, it was, the temperatures in Gettysburg in July of 1853 were around 100. So I'm thinking maybe you should shut the garage door, put a heater in there, and play the game dressed in wool, cotton, or
It'll
wool.
hit it in St. Louis. Don't worry. It'll be
Yeah,
hot.
we don't need to do that in St. Louis.
Yeah, it'll be hot enough.
No, hey, everybody that we get on, they all take a shot at me about naval wargaming. So,
hey, here's a question I think I want to ask. I think we kind of have said this, but we can ask everybody. And some people have been answering, but I'm kind of curious on McMurray's answer on this. For you, not for me. I already answered the question.
Spit it out.
I said GCACW and GTS. I'm telling you, GCACW has ruined me on all games because I was like looking at World War II games going like, what can I get that gives me the thrills and chills of GCACW?
Is it because of that or what you see Jeff doing when y'all playing GCACW?
It's when he wears his little tank tops and stuff when we were playing. That's why we don't film him because
all he's doing is wearing a cartridge belt and a kepi hat. But
anyway, let's get to the question. All right. Let's answer the question. I think we know it. I think we've kind of figured it out, but go ahead.
Left third.
Yeah, get after. Why don't you do that one, Camp, and I'll think here for a minute.
Oh, favorite rule system? That's tough. I mean, that's a tough one because I can find fault with pretty much any rule system. I'll be honest. I can be the rules lawyer when needed. Hence, probably why by Hexy thought I was a lawyer, but there we go, into the woods.
Of all the
But,
GBACW
I mean, in
games,
terms
I think
of,
that one's the best.
yeah, I mean that one's good. There's a lot of detail to it, and I like that. I don't know. I like what Herman's done with the Blind Sword system and Black Swan and the predecessors to that. Those are all pretty tight. I mean, yeah, there's little things here and there, but for the most part, it plays well. You know, I like GBACW too. You know, there's a lot to it, and people have questions about it, but I think it's playable. I don't think it's, you know, crazy ridiculous like some people point out.
Well, I think
You know, most of them I can play through, and you know.
with GCACW, I think Todd and I have both found, because Todd, what we played? We
Go ahead.
played 3 scenarios now,
Mhm.
and we've gotten, now of course, granted, I've played them before, and we've been playing them co-op, and I think with each scenario that we've played, the game's got more fluid each time. And we talk about it because we've had such a gap right now between when we've played and stopped, and we know that we need to get back to it. But I got a feeling that we'll just be casually bumping the rule book when we come back to playing it again, just to get the little odd rules again. But I think our play of it's still going to be fluid all the way through. Now, as for starter kit, my only
problem with
no, I'm good.
my only problem with GCACW is the font size in the rule book. I can't read it with these.
Yeah.
I can't read that for GCACW rulebook. I actually blew it up and put it on legal size paper so I could see it.
I had set up Desert
Other than that,
Fox.
the rules are good. I like them. Just can't read them.
I had set up Desert Fox from S&T magazine and read through about half the rules, and then I realized, not that in-depth rules scare me away, because they don't, but for some reason this one I took it down. I never even moved the first piece on that game, because just the little small rule book that it had was just giving me a headache. And I know it's a wonderful game. One day I'll come back to it, but I took it down. And then I turned around and I put up another game that I have not read the rules to, and that's Decision Games. Their War of whatever it's called, War of Rebellion. That's South Mountain right there. I chose the smallest one of the bunch, and I'm not so sure I'm going to play that one because I was looking at the way the rules are. That's a brigade level. Well, it's kind of, this one I would also say is almost a demi brigade too, but the rules are so deep. I may not. You know what? I'm just going to go play OCS, I think.
That conversation went everywhere. Jesus.
I'm so stuck right now with not being able to get. I can't even finish this last turn of starter kit over here. All right, and Todd's about to catch up to me, and I need to get back on board. I haven't finished that. I got one turn left to play in that. You know what it is? It's golf season. That's what's happened.
Yeah, you need to give up golf.
No.
Trash can that shit. Your clubs are going into the closet.
God.
Hey, Camp, real quick. Your microphone is getting fuzzy every time you talk, so I don't know if you want to kind of reconnect with it or something.
Yeah, let me see if I can do that.
Hey, Tony, good to see you.
Hey,
Hexy, before we end tonight, I do want to show the guys what's in this epic box. So
Yep, we'll do that.
Yeah, there's a lot. So Norda's asking me, poking me because I never answered, which is fair because I was trying to avoid that. But that stuff doesn't get past Nord. I have to kind of go by period or something.
Yeah, you
like
played too many periods.
for remotely modern stuff, it probably would be SCS. Obviously, I really enjoy Blind Swords. I don't do a lot of, pre 16th century, 17th century gaming, to be honest with you, especially on the tabletop. So there's obviously a few honorable mentions. Naval wise, it's hard to nail down because there's such a proliferation of games that I've played. I really enjoy Flying Colors. I really enjoy. It's kind of a weird one because there's only the 2 games with 2 scenarios each in them, and they're small. But the Dreadnoughts and Battle Wagons, which they do, they have a game River Play.
Nope. He cut out. Oh boy, lost his internet. Anyway, McMurray loves GOS, OCS, ASL. No. Yeah, he does play a lot of that guy plays more eras than anybody, but a lot of that's in miniature too. And I don't know if McMurray even knows he's off of here.
Right.
I should shoot him. I'll send him a text.
His internet
Hey, Chuck, melt the minis down, and there won't be a problem anymore.
His phone probably died. I'll try to get hold of him. When you guys chat amongst yourselves.
A question back to you guys in terms of the GCACW. What do you guys like about that series?
What don't we like? I mean, I think Todd and I have had some of our most fun playthroughs.
I mean, is it like the operational stuff and?
Yeah, and it's not the depth. I mean, there's enough detail in the game, and we can even go farther with the advanced rules, which we will, I'm sure, one day. But when you should see the 2 of us when we're done playing, that's what you don't see on camera. Is
all the sweat and cigarette smoking?
Yeah, and the discussions that we have about what we did during the play. I think with all the games because I've been around with you guys now about 3 years now, and I think of all the games that we've played, the systems that we've played or we've discussed or we've each played individually. When we talk about that one after we've played it, the conversation is just unbelievable.
So Alan, my thing is I don't know Civil War that well.
Good. So it's a good experience. It sounds like it's overall good stuff. Yeah,
I mean, so ACW is new to me, so I'm kind of learning. So it's high level enough. I don't have to worry about too much detail. Like some people who are hardcore ACW people kind of waver on it because you move off of history real quick. But I mean, it's the randomness that I love about it. Like you think you're going to move 4 hexes, and you need to move 4 hexes, and you roll a 1 on your dice. So everyone moves 1 hex, and then your guys tire out, so they're getting tired, and you can burn railroad state. I mean, the randomness is what I just love. It's just bonkers, but yet I bet there are players that can win that game despite that randomness, right? It's not so random that you can't win it if you have strategy, because it wouldn't have lasted this long if it was just a random game. So but I don't know. There's just something about the craziness that I love about it. So, and again, it's kind of teaching me, because it's so big picture. It's kind of teaching me about the ACW.
Good.
That
I'm kind of curious because I've played some of it.
Yeah. So. But just right, I get all excited, and then the bandoliers come off. It gets crazy. Again, that's why we can't film it. It's too hot.
So we get the hot toddy.
Now there's a miniatures.
Got to take a shower afterwards, huh?
Maybe.
I'm excited to walk about. Looking forward to seeing you get that on the table.
Yeah, that I can tell you that most fearful sacrifice. You know me, it's tempting because it's always like, man, that's a beautiful game.
Well, you're about to get real up close and personal with it.
It is.
We're starting in May.
I've been begging them for money.
Definitely worth the play. Yep.
What do you mean we're not starting in May, Todd? Why wouldn't we start in May? You said you didn't want to wait and do it all on July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Well, I didn't mean
we can play for 72 hours. Like,
just do the real thing.
Yeah.
Real time.
Oh my God! When I was in junior high, I had a buddy that this is how I got in the Turbo Swift Sword.
Yeah. Careful.
We tried to play it in the 20-minute increments. Yeah, that's fine for about the first 2 hours of the game on July 1st, but don't dare try to do that on July 2nd or July 3rd. There's no way.
That was the cool thing about how we played Bastogne a few years ago, Todd. That's been a few years now.
We
was playing SCS's Bastogne.
We played that
one
back
to
in the
the
day.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
We played Terrible Swift Swords, but it took us 4 weekends. That's including Friday, so more like 20 days in the end.
Wow.
But you finished it though, and you seem to do that a lot, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's back when we had time, when we were in high school at that point, so we had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
You mean
Can't
back
do
in the
that
days
now.
when we could ride our bicycles all over town and mom and dad wouldn't have to worry about us?
Feel like your mom and dad worried about you.
Come on.
That was a great
very
game
early
in its day.
Yeah.
I still think it is so. But GBACW and new stuff is way, way better. All right, so I think we've been going to about an hour and a half, which is about what we do.
Exactly.
So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to kick it over full screen on Todd
Wow.
and let Todd show what he's got with this. Because everybody wants to see it, and then we'll come back real quick and have a few outgoing comments and call it an evening so Hexy can rest up to play golf tomorrow. Oh, for John Halley, if you're still out there, I shot a 2-under Tuesday night, buddy.
Whatever.
All right, let me embiggen you, Toddley.
All right.
I hit a deer
I
with
wish
hard.
I wish you would. Okay,
buddy.
Hey, all right. So I was trying to find out who was asking. I think it was David. David. Anyway, hey. So I mean, there's probably a good unboxing of this, so we'll just do it real fast. I just recently got a Command and Colors Napoleonics Epic, and someone was asking what was. I think it was David asking, like, well, what's in it? Obviously, you can read about it, but let's just look at stuff real quick. So the standard board size for Commands and Colors is 11 hexes deep and 13 wide. So the Epic is 11 deep, 20 wide, and basically there's like 11 scenarios like this. You can see this is the longest is 20 hexes wide and 11. Obviously, it involves a lot more pieces. You usually have to have is that not autofocusing? Okay, sorry. You usually have to have multiple like all the expansions. So the base game and all the expansions at a minimum. I think you might have to have multiple of the base game at some point when you get to the Le Grand Bataille. But anyway, so there's 11 scenarios like this. And Salamanca, I'm not going to go through all of them because, like I said, there's probably a really good unboxing. But so, and these come on nice cardboard, so that's cool. There's 2 Le Grand Bateaux. This is a 26, so 26 hexes wide by 11. And these.
And which one's that?
So this is the one I'm looking at here is the Marrow, and the one you're looking at there on the camera is Austerlitz. And they also have a bunch of Austerlitz like separate scenarios on the standard size too. And there's going to be more of these published this size. It's a lot. usually what you do here, if you don't know, Epic and this, you can play with 3 to 4 players aside. So instead of just one-on-one, which you can also do, you'll have, someone commanding the left, someone commanding the right, and I'm doing it all weird, and someone in the left. And then you have one commander who's kind of dishing out the cards, and that commander can only talk to one player per turn or per card handout. So it's kind of a neat. I played Epic Ancients that way, and it's very fun. I mean, you end up basically playing the person across from you, but you can kind of share some of your units with the guy next to you if you want. So real quick, trying to make this super fast. There's 3 sets of stickers for the blocks, so you get a bunch of blocks. I think it introduces like light infantry, French light, Austrian line, some different cannons, some generals, some things like that. Okay. Some new terrain cards, new rules, of course, blocks. All right, so it comes with the Epic boards. So these are obviously nice thick boards. I'm guessing these are 10 wide each to make it the 20. So you get that. For the Legrand, it's kind of cool. You get 2 paper maps, which are 13 hexes wide each. You know, they join up and make 26 wide, but it's paper, same hex side, but it's just paper because, you know, probably weight and size and all that. Handle comes with some, you know, capture the flag kind of markers because that's how you win. Garrison, nope, these aren't garrisons. These are conscript markers. So you get some markers there, squares, going into squares and all that. The terrain hexes I have to be very careful with because they pop right out, but some new terrain hexes, more rivers, lots more villages, towns, stuff like that, or cities. And I felt like there was something else I was going to show you. But anyway, that's kind of what it comes with. So I think, David, hopefully you're still here. If not, well, you'll catch up later. But anyway, so that's that. And like I said, you pretty much definitely need all the base and the 4 expansions. With the Legrand, I think you're going to need more, but they're very unclear about that. So that is that. And it's funny hearing that there's. So again, this is an interesting thing that, you know, Alan, you said this. So this is all card determined, right? Whatever my hand of cards says, what I can do each time it's my turn. Well, that's pretty random, which is one reason I like this. It's also quite simple. But, you know, like Alan's saying, he's getting his butt kicked by people who play. I think once you play it, you really learn how to play the game and you can win it. Again, that shows why the system has stood the test of time because it takes some skill to win consistently. But anyway.
All right, gang, we're gonna wrap this one up. Good time, good crowd tonight.
It really is a fun game for a.
And Camp, I'm gonna ask you one last question. What's the next video we're gonna see?
Sure. Next video is coming up here it's going to be 160th anniversary, starting back up 1864, Shenandoah Valley. So we're going to see some near you, Jeff. Newmarket's going to be the first one, and then we're going to go straight through Death Valley, GBACW, with that plus the extension. So we're going to get Piedmont and Cool Springs. I'm deviating a little bit. Second Kernstown is actually going to be Blind Swords because I just wanted to mix it up. I was getting a little tired of that system, so you're going to see that. That's actually on the table right in front of me right now. I'm going to get started with that this weekend, but they'll start coming out here right at the anniversary here, so you'll see that in the next couple weeks once May rolls around. I may throw something up beforehand if I can get it finished, but I'll make that a surprise on there as well. So see some of that, and then some more Panzer stuff. You guys are really pushing me into squad leader again, so I may get some of that in there too some point.
We have a bad effect on people sometimes.
I love it.
All right, so hey, everybody out there, again on YouTube, Camp Sawyer, get over there, check his channel out. He plays games all the way through and he films the stuff. He doesn't hold the camera while he's moving everything around on the board, but he gives you sort of a turn by turn with his camera, and he does such a great job with doing the stuff. And we all know that there's very few people out there that film a game from start to finish. I could probably count on one hand the games that I've played from start to finish, you know, easily. So Camp Sawyer on YouTube. Appreciate everybody that joined, all the questions tonight, good stuff. And Alan, appreciate you coming on here with us, brother. And we'll talk to all you guys later. See ya.
See ya.
Yes, thanks for having me on. Take care. Bye-bye.